Well, I know what you're thinking. Carbs, diabetes, they don't mix. Put the rights down, Steve. That's what we've all been told. Low carb, low sugar, watch the fruit, bread's the enemy. And I followed those rules for years. You probably did too. I did follow those rules. And you know what I got for it? Managed. Not well, just managed. Here's what nobody told me and what nobody may have told you. The carbs were never the problem. What if the fat clogging your cells is the real reason insulin can't do its job? What if everything you've been restricting is exactly what your body needed? And everything you've been eating freely is exactly what's been holding you back? Yes, today I'm busting the biggest myth in diabetes. And I'm replacing it with the whole food, plant-based truth that changed my life and the lives of thousands of others. Stay right here. This one is going to flip some things upside down.
Let's take the 3 biggest myths in diabetes nutrition and replace them with the truth one at a time. Myth: carbs cause diabetes and must be restricted. Truth: refined carbs combined with dietary fat cause insulin resistance. Whole food carbohydrates, starches, legumes, fruit have been shown to improve blood sugar control, not worsen it. The distinction matters enormously. A plain baked potato does not behave the same way in your body as a potato chip. The chip is loaded with fat and salt that changes everything about how your cells respond. The potato, on its own, is fuel. Whole food carbs does not equal refined carbs plus fat. Myth: fruit is too high in sugar for diabetics. Truth: whole fruit, not juice, has been shown in multiple clinical studies to lower fasting blood glucose and improve A1C. The fiber in whole fruit changes everything about how sugar is absorbed. When you eat a whole apple, the fiber slows the release of sugar into your bloodstream. There is no spike. There is no crash. There is just steady, usable fuel wrapped in nutrients that reduce inflammation and feed your gut microbiome. Fruit is not your enemy. Fruit without fiber, fruit juice, dried fruit, processed fruit products, that is a different conversation. Whole fruit fiber slows sugar absorption. Blood sugar stays stable. Myth: fat is fine for diabetics. It doesn't affect blood sugar. Truth: dietary fat, especially saturated fat from meat and dairy, is the primary driver of intramyocellular lipid, the fat deposits inside muscle cells that block insulin signaling and cause insulin resistance. Fat does not spike your blood sugar immediately, that's true. But over time, fat accumulating inside your cells is precisely what makes insulin stop working. The blood sugar problem you see on your monitor is a symptom. The fat in your cells is the cause. Fat doesn't spike blood sugar today. It causes insulin resistance tomorrow. So if carbs aren't the enemy, fat is the problem, and whole fruit is actually good for you, what does a diet that actually works look like? The 4 foods that work for diabetics. It looks like this: whole food starches, brown rice, oats, potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, provide clean, low-fat fuel that the body can process efficiently when the cells aren't clogged with dietary fat. Starches, clean fuel when fat isn't in the way. Beans and lentils are among the most studied foods for blood sugar control on the planet. High fiber, high protein, low glycemic load. They slow glucose absorption and feed the gut bacteria that regulate insulin sensitivity. Beans plus lentils, nature's blood sugar stabilizers. Non-starchy vegetables are unlimited. They are anti-inflammatory, micronutrient-dense, and loaded with the fiber that your gut bacteria convert into compounds that protect your insulin pathway. Vegetables. Eat abundantly. No limits. Whole fruit. Every day. Not as a treat. As food. the way humans ate for tens of thousands of years before we invented the idea that fruit was dangerous. Fruit, daily, whole, unapologetically. This is not a complicated diet. It is not a restrictive diet. It is the removal of the thing that is blocking your body's own healing mechanism and the addition of the things that support it. The complexity was always on the other side, counting macros, timing medications, managing a condition that was slowly getting worse no matter what you did. This side is simple. Eat whole plants, remove the fat, let your cells recover. Here is what people experience when they make this shift, not hypothetically, but consistently. Days 3 to 5. Digestion improves. Energy begins to stabilize. The high-fiber foods begin feeding your gut microbiome. Inflammation starts to quiet. Most people notice their energy is more even, fewer crashes, less fatigue after meals. Days 10 to 14. Fasting blood glucose readings begin to drop. As intramyocellular fat starts to clear, insulin sensitivity begins to improve. For many people, this is the moment the skepticism breaks, when the number on the monitor starts changing. Weeks 4 to 8. A1C movement. Cravings for processed food decrease. The gut microbiome has shifted. Your body is now asking for different things. The cravings that drove you toward the foods that were hurting you begin to fade. This is biology, not willpower. Months 3 plus. A real conversation with your doctor about medication. This is where the long game pays off. Consistent adherence, consistent improvement. Some people reduce medication. Some people have the conversation about remission. Every person gets a body that is working better than it was before.
Well, you still think carbs and diabetes don't mix? I spent years believing that. I spent years restricting the wrong things and eating the wrong things freely and wondering why I couldn't get ahead of this disease. The myth cost me time and my health. It might be costing you the same right now. Here's what I know for certain after nearly 60 years of living with diabetes. The body wants to heal. It is always moving toward balance. If you give it what it needs and stop giving it what it doesn't, whole food, no oil, no animal products, real carbs from real plants, that's it. It's that easy. This is not a complicated message. The complicated version was the one that wasn't working. The Dominate Diabetes system gives you well over 30, not way over 30 recipes built on the exact approach with the nutritional data, the fiber counts, and the reasoning behind every single meal so you understand what you're eating and why. Because understanding it is what makes it stick. You don't need more rules, you need the truth. The link in the description, come get it. I'm Stephen Michael Smith. Let's dominate our diabetes together.